Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Venom Fire here, back with another video, and today I am bringing you guys Raiders ebook part 2. Now, if you haven't watched the first part of the ebook, definitely go watch that before you watch this one. It explains a bunch of the key formations that I'm not going to be covering in this video: tight doubles, trips tight end, and bunch tight end. But in this video, I'm going to be going over the gun bunch, the tray wide flex, and the empty or bunch quads, as well as the I-form close and the single back wing flex close. So starting off, we're going to be in the gun bunch. Our audibles are just going to be simple like this: Z spot and go, halfback base, verticals, and bunch trail. And we are going to have a couple of different formations, so I'm going to be going a little bit faster than I typically would in a formation breakdown. So going to be coming out in the Z spot and go. My setup for this is pretty simple. What I like to do is streak B, drag A, put X on a comeback, block your running back, and motion B out. So all said and done, here's your setup. We have two high-low reads on both sides of the field, so it's really going to depend on which side your opponent's using to determine which side you're going to pass on, obviously depending on the defensive coverage as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hike the ball here, looking A. RB does get a little bit open over the top. That was like a man coverage look. This play doesn't really beat man coverage too well, so can't really do much about that, but it's a good play against zone. It beats a lot of hard flat, curl flats, cloud flats. So here you see X wide open on the comeback, hit him, possession catch, easy dot. It's really important to make sure that you get the timing on the comeback route right. Otherwise, you could end up throwing a pick, and it could be pretty bad. So here's our setup one more time. I'm going to show you guys. Hike the ball, looking. RB is going to get open. Throw the ball and hit him sort of right after the break. And yeah, that's pretty much all for the Z spot setup. Obviously, if you wanted to run it a different way, you could just run it like this. So here could be a different setup you want to run, just a typical high-low concept, hit the corner route, and that's pretty much the only other setup that I would run with this play. We have a way better play with a corner route for a concept like that. So next play we got in the gun bunch is going to be this halfback base. All you guys know how to run halfback base. So my setup's pretty much just going to be the same, just motion Travis Benjamin in a little bit, hike the ball right there, and pretty much just head up the gut. If you watch the other video, the gun, you can see this is similar to the inside zone of the gun bunch tight end, motioning this wide receiver in the bunch onto the tackle's hip and hiking the ball. As you guys see, some great blocking. Obviously, you're not going to run the ball at a bunch because in this playbook, because we have a ton of running formations that you can do, a bunch of other good runs, but just in case you're in the bunch, you don't have time to audible to one of those formations, you can just give this play a go. If you need to get to a hash as well, it can be useful. So that takes us to our next play. We got verticals. My vertical setup is going to be pretty simple. I have two sort of setups, so this is just going to be my first one. All you have to do is streak Y. You have two wheels, you have the streak, and then you also have that crosser. So motion Benjamin out, hike the ball, and we're looking. Keenan Allen wide open in the middle of the field, and you guys can see this play is definitely great against man coverage. If you're playing a ton of man coverage, just go to the bunch, run this play, and it'll kill it. Also, for man, this is one of the other type of setups I like. Oh, wrong play. One of the other type of setups I like to run is something like this. You have the slant, the crosser, the two wheels that will destroy against man coverage. Hike the ball here, and we're going to have X wide open. Throw that dot, and just pick up the easy yard. So this is, if your opponent's playing a ton of man coverage and you don't exactly know how to beat it with the other formations that I showed you guys, then this is a bread and butter play that tons of people like to run. So this is going to be my typical setup in the play. Just going to be block your running back and in X, and then obviously we're looking for the two wheels. If they're not open, we're looking for the crosser over the middle. If that's not open, we're looking for the in late. So motion Benjamin out, hike it in motion, and you can hit B. Now, for some reason, you get that inaccurate quick throw that popped up on the bottom. Not exactly sure what that is, but you might have to wait a little bit because this happens in Ultimate Team to me all the time, and it's pretty frustrating. Not exactly sure how to get rid of it, but you're just going to have to live with it. Here we get a man coverage. B's going to get wide open, and that's a touchdown. So you guys can see that wheel destroys against man, and then you can obviously have the slant on the other side in case he's just using that wheel. So yeah, that's gonna go ahead and be it for our vertical setup. Next up, we got bunch trail. Bunch trail, I have 2 setups. My first one's gonna be running it stock, and the only adjustment you have to make is just put B on a drag, and then motion him over. You're gonna motion him. You're just gonna hike him when he's not set. As you see, for some reason they're just in that weird set that quarters 3 deep, where it's like 20,000 people in zone, but you can see we still found someone open. But again, here's the setup. Very simple. Put B on drag, motion him over, hike him in motion like this, and you're looking, B wide open, throw it. Now you're looking for the man beating route. You're looking at the combination of the corner as well as the drag to zig route with Hunter Henry, our tight end. So we're really looking for a couple of different reads. Most of these routes beat man coverage. If you wanted, you could put Benjamin on a slant for another man beating route, but I like the drag to corner combination with Keenan Allen and Benjamin in case they do run a zone. So hike the ball. Here's man coverage. Keenan Allen's going to get wide open on that corner. See, that corner route's a little bit faster than the one in Z spot, which takes us to our next setup. Ultimately, it's just going to be a simple setup, putting Benjamin on a streak, B on a streak, put A on a flat route, and you can put X on an in route or a deep in route. I usually just like the regular in route. Then you can usually I like to motion this Benjamin route out to make it look like verticals. Your opponent's saying, oh, he's motioning out, it's going to be verticals. Nope. We have bunch trail with Keenan Allen there, wide open on the corner route. Obviously, if you get someone faster there in the slot, it's going to be a little bit better for you, but not going to spend too much time on the formation subs here. Just showing you guys the basics of the plays. So here's our setup once again. Hitting Keenan Allen for whatever reason. Somehow he got like undercut. But yeah, so that's going to... Actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a goal line play real quick. It's going to be out of the verticals play. And so I'm going to go ahead and be respotting the ball real quick to the red zone. This play kills in the red zone. It's definitely one of my favorite plays. So move the ball to around the 9-10 yard line. Say a goal line play. So we are in the verticals, obviously. My setup is going to be very simple. Block my running back, and I'm going to go ahead and put A on a out route. I'm going to smart route that out route by clicking RB. So this is our full setup. If you want, you can put X on a curl or put him on a drag, whatever you want. And you're going to go ahead and motion out B, hike the ball, and Hunter Henry's wide open, as you guys can see. For some reason, Philip Rivers overthrows, but you guys could pretty much get the gist. I'm going to show you guys one more time here our full setup. Here it is. A on that out route. Smart route that out route and put X on a drag or whatever, any type of an underneath route. Motion Benjamin out, and you see we like to usually low ball that A route. It actually got open late, which is very nice. If you roll out to the right, whatever side you're on, then you do have a chance to get him open late. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head into our next formation, which is going to be the gun tray Y flex. This formation is very popular among people. You don't even have to be good at the game for this. You just see everybody knows this formation because of the very well-known plays. Anybody can run this. I'm going to show you guys a couple of different plays though. So we obviously have our inside zone. I'm going to audible that to the read option. I like the read option a little bit better for whatever reason. It's just personal preference. Our X is going to be levels Y corner. LB is going to be SE corner. And we obviously keep the PA crossers. I'm going to go over fake screen wheel just real quick. You guys know, excuse me, sorry about that. You guys know that fake screen wheel is a man beating route. So what I like to do is just put Hunter Henry on a slant. So here's our full setup. I like to smart route B to make that seam route a little bit slower to the inside, gives us a better chance to beat the cover 2, and just leave the rest the same. Hike the ball, and you guys can see if it's really only a man beating route. I don't run it against zone, but just a simple play, just something nice to go over here. here you see X gets wide open late. Hunter Henry can pick up a block, which is nice, and we end up getting a good gain. So it can work against zone. If you're running plays against zone, I definitely wouldn't be running this formation too much. This is if you just want to run the ball a lot. We're pretty run heavy formation, so I'm going to start off with the read option. For the read option, you actually can't motion in this slot guy like I showed you guys with my gun trips tight end in the other video. What you have to do is motion. You have to motion in this slot guy to about the same spot, left tackle's hip, hike the ball, and you guys can just read the hole. I might have had the outside there, but it's kind of whatever. Obviously I wouldn't be running against a set like this. I would be running a fake screen wheel type. Hike the ball anyway. And you guys can see I've actually ran this in Ultimate Team games, destroyed this play. I know this play works, and it is probably one of the better inside zones. As you guys see there, easy yards. You get a faster running back, and that's 10 yards off the rip. All you need is the smallest hole, as you guys know. So I'm going to show you guys one last time here before moving on to levels Y corner. As you guys see there, easy hole, great blocking. For whatever reason, the blocking in this inside zone seems to be better than a couple of different other inside zone type of plays. So here we got level Y corner, levels Y corner. Setup's pretty much just going to be the typical setup. What I like to do is just put Y on a drag. So here's our full setup. You're reading the table to corner route, and then if you want, you can highball that B route, or we're looking for the drag to X late. So hike the ball, table routes covered, low ball that X route, and we get an easy dot. Your opponent's probably going to be using on the right side of the field. They'll be coming back to that deep in route, and you might have some of the other routes, the drag or the delayed in, wide open. So here we are, going to dump it down to the flats. We actually get screamed at, though. That's kind of a problem with this play. Only blocking 5, you're not going to expect to have too much time, so you do have to make a quick decision. Actually came out in the wrong play there. That was the fake screen wheel, but I'm going to show you guys one last time. I don't really like to run this play. If I'm running a variation of this play, I run the SE corner, but I'm just showing you guys in case you want to use it. Dump it down to Melvin Gordon there, make a move, get off me, get off me. Just did the same move 3 times in a row, but that's how this game is. So anyway, taking us on to our next play, SE corner. I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be, I'm going to flip the play. Usually I like to run it to the other side. I know some people that like to run it to the weak side, but I like to run my corner routes to the strong side. So I'm pretty much just going to streak Y and keep the rest the same. Hike the ball, looking table route, not open. X route, it does get open. A little bit of a late throw, and since I was rolling out to the left, but we still get the catch. So I'm going to show you guys a couple more times here. Flip the play, or just run it to the opposite hash with the corner. Streak Y, and you can hike the ball, block your running back if you want to create a spot type of a setup, which is in the bunch tight end. Oh, I actually made a pretty bad read, but for whatever reason, Hunter Henry dropped it still. Anyway, we did end up getting the catch, so yeah, that's pretty much my only setup. If you want a better version of that play, just go watch my... If you guys do remember in part 1, I had the double and sail setup. A lot better than that one. Anyway, that's going to take us on to our last play. We have PA crossers. This one's actually a little bit better than any different PA crossers because you can put this A route on. He has the wide receiver hot routes instead of tight end, so I can put him on a fade, I can put him on a slant, I can put him on a zig, which I can't with a regular tight end hot routes. So I'm going to put him on a fade, and then I'm just going to put X on a drag. You can run something like this, putting X on a deep in route and dragging Y, similar to our PA counter go setup in the trips tight end. But for now, I'm just going to run it like this for a simpler setup. We're looking for the Y. If he's playing cover 2, you can hit Y. And you obviously have the drag if he's playing completely over the top. Here I'm getting pressure. I'm going to dump it down to Benjamin, and that's an easy gain. So just don't sleep on the drag. Don't be looking for the big play between the post and the crosser. Don't be afraid to hit the drag all game. And here we are again. Be wide open there with Mike Williams for a dot. And yeah, pretty much all you guys should know how to run PA crossers. That's pretty much my simple setup for it. Great play to run if you're struggling against somebody. Just need to get down to a basics. You're overthinking it. Anyway, I'm gonna be going over the bunch quads. I'm pretty much just gonna keep the setups the same. Instead of inside post, I'm running drag under, and you can keep the QB draw if you want, or change it to inside post. But those are the plays I'm going over. All of these except for QB draw. So we're gonna be starting off in the spot. The spot, I pretty much like to just run it like this. You can do whatever hot routes you want. Usually I put A on a smart route, make it a little bit deeper like this, and I just put B on a regular streak. But I like to keep that RB route because of how he sort of sets up in the middle of the field, and we obviously want the flat route for the high-low read, and we have X over the middle if we just, for whatever reason, he's just wide open. So here we are. RB actually couldn't even see because that defensive icon, but he ended up getting the catch. That was a pretty quick read. Here we see a blitz look, so I'm gonna keep A the same. It's obviously could be a fake blitz, but we want a quicker corner out if it is a blitz, and if it's man coverage for sure, I'm gonna put RB on a slant like this. So hike the ball. It actually was a blitz, so I'm gonna dump it down to the flats. I had the corner out also, but when people blitz, they usually aren't going to have 5 people playing man-to-man. So if you're sending out 5 routes, you have a good chance to complete the pass. But this is just a simple setup. A gets wide open there and do work. So again, just another high-low read. Going to go ahead and show us our next play here, drag under. Drag under is pretty much a verticals type of a setup. I just run it stock. It doesn't really matter. Motion RB out to make that wheel a little bit more to the outside and just hike the ball. That crosser is a little bit better, as you guys see. Oh my, I thought that Tyrann Matthew actually did a pretty good job in coverage, but we probably had him open there. Just a great play by a high overall player. Gonna show you guys one more time. It's similar, very similar to the vertical setup, just with an extra route. B wide open, dump it down, and that's a dot. So again, I don't really run that play, so I'm just gonna switch to our last play, bunch trail, probably my favorite play out of this formation. It's gonna be similar to the one you ran last time out of the gun bunch. So just put RB on a drag and motion him over. You're creating the same kind of a concept, but you have that comeback route on the left side in case it is man coverage. You have nothing open late, and it is man coverage, so I'm going to hit X on that comeback wide open. I probably also had the corner route and the zig and the drag. All those are man beating routes. The post over the top is in case he is in a cover 2. You just bomb him. And yeah, so show you guys one more time here. My setup, drag RB, motion him over, hike the ball in motion right here, and you're looking. I have A wide open, hit him on the run, boom, dot. So that's just a simple formation. If he's coming out in a dollar, you want to spread out the defense a little bit. This is a formation that you can run, a 5 wide type of formation. Alright, so that was all out of the shotgun. I'm going to go ahead and move into our more run-heavy formations, the I-form close. I actually have a full video on this, just specifically if you want to go check that out, but I'm going to be going over it again anyway as part of the ebook. So just put X as power O, Y as ISO, and LB as stretch. For RB, I'm going to put Y post. And for a complete man-beating route, you can obviously do whatever play you like the most, whether that's PAD cross or any of these plays, double outs. So I'm just going to come out in power O, and setup's pretty simple. What I like to do, you can run it stock obviously like this and still get amazing blocks. Pretty good blocks, but I ran into him. Would have had a much bigger gain if I didn't bump into him. So in this situation, obviously I see no one over there. I'm going to come out and stretch, run the ball, and just hike it immediately, hit the outside. And that's an easy gain. So you're pretty much in this formation reading the defense. I'm just going to read the defense and call the play based on preference. So here it's a stretch situation again. I could also run ISO, but you see there's no slot corner over here. He's on the left side. So I'm going to run stretch to the right side, try to hit this hole between the corner and the outside guy. I could also cut it in between these two guys. So I hike the ball. I'm actually in power O, but it didn't matter. As you see, touchdown. But like I was saying, I would run stretch in that situation. Here I'm going to come out and power O. I'm going to flip the play, running it to this side, and I'm going to motion Mike Williams over. So here's our setup. Hike the ball right there in motion, and you can see, look at those amazing blocks. This is by far my favorite run out of the formation. For whatever reason, the block set up perfectly on the 2 receiver side. And yeah, so here I'm going to run ISO. I'm going to motion in this B receiver and hike it like a wham. And I probably had the right side. That was just bad run stick. I just followed the blocks and they ended up getting a couple of block sheds. So here I see there's the slot corners on the right. Even if he follows over, I'm going to have numbers on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the power out to this side, motion him over, and hike it in motion like this. And look at the blocks. Amazing. This play is literally a glitch, I tell you. And it's just so great online as well. So I'm going to run the stretch here, just show off all the plays a couple of times, hit the outside, hit the juke, make a couple of moves. As you see, it just destroyed people, but yeah, this is definitely probably the best running formation in the game. Here, he's in a 3 down lineman type situation. I'm just going to run it straight up the gut. ISO, run it down your throat, boom, easy 10 yards before contact, and I fall forward for a couple more. So this formation, it's very frustrating. Your opponent's going to be flicking through a couple of different defensive formations to stop this. Running the ball obviously is overpowered as it is in my opinion, with some abilities like evasive. Here we even get Melvin Gordon in the zone, hit a juke, spin, and just amazing. For whatever reason, Mike Williams decided to back up on that block, but it's cool. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys one last time with the runs here. Power O, flipped. This is my favorite run out of this formation, and hike it in motion like this. Boom. Easy run yards, and it's an easy 10 yards before contact. If you get a super good running back in Mutt, that's the formation I like to run. And then since they're in quarters 3, just obviously run ISO. That goes for dollar as well. If they're in dollar, run right up the gut. It's going to be 5 yards every time, guaranteed. And for the pass play that I was talking about, I don't really even run this too much, but for my setup, I'm just going to put Y on a wheel, block my running back, motion B out, and just put X on an in route, something like this. This B route beats man coverage, and we have the post, as well as just Y for another route. That, as you see, that's kind of a slow post. If that was faster, I would have got him open. I'll show you guys one last time. I don't really even pass out of this formation, but there's a couple of things you could do if you want to pass out of this formation. I don't recommend it though. Here again, we get sort of a man coverage press look. We're looking B and just gonna hit X. We get sacked. Yeah, just run the ball to this formation. You're not gonna have to pass if you're running the ball well. And yeah, so this is gonna take us to our last formation. This is the most balanced, probably the most balanced formation in this whole offensive playbook. It's going to be the Singleback wing flex close. One of my personal favorites. As you see, halfback dive is going to be our Y audible, stretch is going to be our X audible, drive Y corner is going to be our LB audible, and smash is going to be our X audible, or our RB audible. And the player coming out in is every single down, no matter what, is toss weak. It basically gives you 5 options to choose from. So as you guys see, I can choose toss weak, stretch, or any of these plays. I'm gonna go over toss weak first. Toss weak, I have numbers on the left side. I could just snap it right now, or what I usually do, motion green over to the left, hike it right there before he sets, and you see someone must have missed their block. If everybody got their block there, we would have had a touchdown probably. Gonna show you guys one more time, motioning him over. Slide to the right and hike it in motion before he sets, and you guys can see sometimes the blocks are better than others, but you can still make something happen. You have some space. Usually, obviously, you could run it to the other side. This is the short side, weak side, so don't have as much room to make things happen. But there you see, hitting the hole. Everybody holds up their blocks, and we get some. If we could get some good blocks. So next up, we got the stretch. The stretch in a situation like this, I'm not going to run it there. We have the slot corner and the regular corner, as well as this D lineman out wide. I'm going to run it to the right side, and when I run things to the right side, I motion Mike Williams over and hike the ball right there. If you don't hike the ball right there, he is going to be forced to go all the way to the right side. So I'm going to show you guys that next time. Right now, if I'm coming out and stretch and I don't hike the ball right there, I can't hike the ball there. As you hear, I'm spamming A and I don't get to hike it until he's fully out there. So if I want him to be tight, then I have to hike it right like when he's behind those two tight ends. Just a tip in case you mess things up. So the stretch is definitely probably my favorite play out of this. It's very good. Lots of opportunity, cutting inside, cutting outside. And obviously there's no power O. So if there was a power O, this formation would be very overpowered, but here's the stretch. I'm going to flip it to the other side. So here is our setup. Again, motioning green over to the left side, hiking it in motion, and we have the outside completely wide open. Hit 8-9 yards before even making contact with another defender. But yeah, that's pretty much the stretch. I'm going to show you guys the halfback dive now. This is probably the premier play I run. All you have to do is motion in X, hike it right there on the left tackle, and you see the blocks are going to develop perfectly. This play is very good. You can spam it online. I've literally done it. I've ran this play the entire drive and got touchdowns easily. Just run the ball. Obviously, you run this a ton of times, they're going to pinch their D-line. They're going to baseline press. You have the chance to just completely run the stretch if they do that, but here, just running the dive, you're going to easily cut this to the left. I could tell before the play even hiked. You guys can see this play is unstoppable. The quick handoff gives you a ton of chance to read the hole and where you want to move your running back. Show you guys one last time here. Hike the ball and boom, read the hole. Running this a ton of times, you're going to get better at reading the dive holes, which side's open if you want to cut it outside, and whatever. So that's going to take us to our passing play. Drive wide corner. For this play, what I like to do is pretty much just run it stock. You can block your running back if you want, and actually not stock, I put this B route on a curl. So here's our full setup. Motioning out RB on the wheel. If it's man coverage, you're going to have A wide open and RB. And if you want a shorter corner route, then you can put A on a smart route. I'm just going to show the full setup here. Boom, A. Actually seemed to be open, but you kind of want a faster tight end. Obviously, Mutt. Hunter Henry's not the move. He's not fast, but it's pretty much whatever. Run the setup again. This time I'm going to be smart routing that A route to make it shorter. It's going to get a lot more open, most likely. Boom, hitting X on the drag. There's nothing really open, and nothing open. You want to hit X before you get in a predicament where you're scrambling out of the pocket. If you don't have a scrambling quarterback, then you're going to take a sack. So here's the setup one last time. Sorry about the coughing. I've just been talking for a while. Here's our setup. Hike the ball. Oh my. I had B. I was going to have B wide open. RB also wide open, but just took a sack. And you can also put a running back at tight end, which is very good. Just put in your backup running back at backup fullback, and you should be able to sub him in at tight end as well. Put him here. So if they do run man coverage, you can get that wheel route wide open. I actually forgot to come out in the play. Anyway, we're going to be showing you guys the smash play now. It's the last play in the entire ebook. I'm running it to the other side now. And it's going to be a very simple setup. I'm just going to put B on an out route, block my running back, and put RB on an in route. You can put him on a hitch if you want, something like this. Or you can put A on a curl and RB on the drag. So for this formation, you kind of want some fast tight ends. Obviously, fast run blocking. It's not going to be the best of both worlds, but yeah, unfortunately, you can't motion Keenan Allen out, which is kind of a bummer, but it's still a bench concept. Boom, wide open. I had the X route also, and Keenan's going to be long gone on that. This play is going to pretty much kill man coverage. You can do some other stuff with the play if you want. Going against man coverage, you can put RB on a slant, A on a curl. Boom, tons of man beating routes. Actually can't put RB on a slant. Never mind. Just keep him on the drag, I guess. Here's our setup one last time. Hike the ball. Boom, B's covered, X wide open. Would have had the low ball but I unfortunately got hit. So yeah, that's gonna go ahead and do it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed this full ebook, make sure to leave a like and show your support. Make sure, in case I make another one, you are subscribed to the channel. Please leave a like, turn on your post notifications to be notified every single time I upload, and share this video with your friends. If your friends are struggling at Madden, you've been beating them too many times with this, they want to know how to run it, share it with them. And yeah, for now, peace. I'm out of here.